March is here, and by now you might be thinking about doing a little spring cleaning, maybe getting your yard ready for spending more time outdoors. But there are some things you need to keep in mind if you've got pets around. And we have Dr. Megan Callahan from Veterinary Emergency Group in Tampa. Good morning to you, Dr. Callahan.
Hi, good morning. Happy to be here.
Yeah, we're happy to have you. Okay, so we know one of the best parts about having our dogs is that they get to get out and they're with us in the outdoors. But when you're planting flowers, they always kind of want to be in your business. And I think the one dangerous part about flowers is that you have to fertilize them. So what is your advice there?
Yeah, so there are two main hazards that we're concerned about when we head outside with our pets. The first one is a chemical hazard, and the second is more of a physical hazard. When we're thinking about the chemical hazards, we're thinking about fertilizers, those soil additives, the pesticides, snail baits, slug baits. All of those contain organophosphates, metaldehyde, and those are both highly toxic substances that are life-threatening, even in small amounts. We want to be conscious of the soil we're using and the additives we're putting in our garden bed. We also want to think about compost, and as it heats up, the bacteria and the molds will start growing. They produce a byproduct called mycotoxins, which is also pretty toxic and can cause sickness in as little as 30 minutes. And then we want to think about the flowers and the plants themselves. Sago palms, lily of the valley, and lilies can also be toxic when ingested.
What do you do when you haven't, because I've had this happen, you get them freshly planted, everything's done, and then they go out there and they dig all through it. So now they've gone through the fertilizer, and if you use cow, I don't know what you call it, manure or whatever for fertilizer, what do you do then? I mean, is that a veterinary trip?
So definitely call your veterinarian that you have a relationship with and talk about it, because all substances are different. It really depends on what additives you've used. And if your veterinarian is unavailable, you can always call Veterinary Emergency Group. We're 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you can talk with the doctor and determine if your pet is having an emergency.
Okay, so we hope it never comes to that. The other thing we love in Florida is in our backyards are pools, and I always wonder, what about them drinking out of the pool? The chlorinated ones, I mean.
So drinking pool water in small amounts is safe. I wouldn't have it as their primary source of water, but while they're outside, it certainly can cool them off. We want to make sure that they're safe, though, and they have a way out in case they do fall into a pool or a pond. We don't want them to drown. We want them to have a gradient or some type of stairs that they can get out of the pool or the pond with. And that's a good point as well in thermoregulation. We want to make sure as we start to heat up in spring that we are not putting our pets at risk of heat stroke. So providing shade, making sure there is water available can certainly help with that.
Got to make them comfortable too. They're part of our family. All right, Dr. Callahan, thanks so much. Good to see you.